Book Summary with Vengeance by Riley Sager. Part 1, Shadows of the Past. In 1954, 12 years after the tragic collapse of her once respected family, Anna Matheson boards the Liberty Limited luxury train traveling from Philadelphia to Chicago. Anna is elegant, composed, and utterly resolute. Her mission is simple but dangerous. She has meticulously orchestrated this journey to confront the 6 individuals she believes are responsible for her family's ruin during World War I. Tuna's father, Douglas Matheson, was a prominent banker accused of embezzling government war funds and collaborating with Nazi agents. The scandal ended in his suicide, followed by the mental breakdown and death of his mother. Her younger sister, Claire, disappeared soon after. Only Anna survived, and she has spent the past decade reconstructing the truth. Her painstaking investigation points to 6 well-connected individuals who manipulated and destroyed her father for their own gain. Anna sends forged letters and invitations to draw them all onto the same train, claiming the promise of opportunity, wealth, or reconciliation. The suspects include Harold Kessler, ruthless industrialist and former business partner of Anna's father; Lucille Van Dorn, powerful socialite who used her influence to vilify the Matheson name; Gilbert Armitage, an intelligence officer with murky wartime connections; Midge Hill, journalist whose career was lost by publishing the defamatory stories; Dr. Emery Fielding, the psychiatrist who testified that Anna's father was mentally unstable; Thomas Graves, former friend and government informant, possibly the most dangerous of them all. Anna's intention is not murder but justice. She plans to confront them, extract their confessions, and pass them and her compiled evidence to federal agents waiting in Chicago. But the journey will not go as planned. Part 2, Death on the Rails. Hours into the journey, Harold Kessler is found strangled in his cabin. Panic ensues. Anna realizes she is not the only one seeking vengeance. Murderers aboard the Liberty Limited, eliminating the guests one by one. The train, moving through winter storm, cannot be stopped or diverted. The confined setting turns into deadly labyrinth. Anna reluctantly partners with Walter Green, the head conductor, who quickly suspects Anna knows more than she admits. As suspicion and fear take hold of the passengers, alliances shift and secrets surface. Anna's plan begins to unravel as she is forced into the role of detective, interrogator, and protector. Through tense conversations and quick thinking, Anna tries to uncover the killer while staying one step ahead of suspicion herself. Her own motives are murky, and more than one passenger believes she might be the murderer. Part 3, The Truth Behind the Lies. Flashbacks to 1942 slowly reveal what really happened to the Mathesons. Douglas Matheson had uncovered wartime embezzlement scheme involving military contracts and high-level corruption. Rather than silence him legally, his enemies orchestrated psychological and media attack that painted him as traitor. Anna's sister Claire, thought to have run away, may have played larger role in the events than Anna realizes. As Anna delves deeper, she learns that Graves may have been trying to protect her father by leaking information that backfired. Midge Hill begins to show signs of remorse and confesses that her original story was fed to her by Lucille Van Dorn. But before she can offer more, Midge is thrown from the train during tunnel crossing. Dr. Fielding also meets grisly and poisoned during the dinner service. Each death is more calculated than the last. Anna concludes that the killer is targeting those who might expose much deeper conspiracy. Part 4, Anna's Gambit. Hidden compartment in Kessler's private car contains documents linking Van Dorn, Armitage, and others to the OSS and an illegal wartime slush fund. These records are damning. Not only did these individuals profit from war, but they also framed Douglas Matheson to cover their crimes. Anna discovers a photograph of Claire with Gilbert Armitage. She confronts him, and he reveals Claire had joined covert operation against Nazi collaborators. She was killed during mission in France. Her name was blackened posthumously to maintain the cover of those in power. The murders, it turns out, are being orchestrated by Lucille Van Dorn. She discovered Anna's plan and decided to silence everyone involved, including those who might confess. Intense confrontation. Anna outwits Van Dorn, recording her confession using hidden device sewn into her corset. In last-ditch effort, Van Dorn sets the observation car on fire, intending to destroy the evidence. Walter Green sacrifices himself to help Anna escape and secure the documents. Part 5, End of the Line. When the train arrives in Chicago, federal agents board. Anna hands over the recordings and documents. Van Dorn is arrested. The surviving suspects are taken into custody. Anna, weary but vindicated, visits her sister's grave. She places their childhood locket on the headstone and walks away, finally free of her burden. Themes and reflections. With Vengeance explores the boundaries between justice and revenge, the trauma of wartime corruption, and the dangers of unchecked power. The enclosed, high-pressure setting aboard the train enhances the sense of paranoia and urgency. Anna Matheson is complex, morally gray protagonist whose journey forces her to protect those she once vowed to destroy. Sager blends mystery, historical drama, and psychological suspense to craft taut and emotionally resonant thriller. As the train races toward its destination, so does Anna's confrontation with the truth that redemption often comes not through vengeance, but through courage, sacrifice, and letting go of the past. Book review. Riley Sager's latest thriller with Vengeance is a propulsive, high-stakes tale of revenge, identity, and the psychological cost of justice. Known for crafting atmospheric suspense with jaw-dropping twists, Sager delivers historical thriller unlike anything in his previous catalog. Set largely aboard 1954 luxury train hurtling from Chicago to Los Angeles with no stops, the novel is part Agatha Christie and part Hitch, but with Sager's unmistakable flair for emotionally complex heroines and slow-burning dread. At the heart of the story is Anna Matheson, young woman who has spent over a decade living under a new name, painstakingly orchestrating the downfall of 6 individuals who destroyed her family during the chaos of World Eromante. Prologue, set in 1942, introduces us to Anna as teenage girl with everything. Until betrayal, corruption. Violence rip it all away. 12 years later, Anna boards the fabled Midnight Zephyr, disguised, confident, and carrying secrets. Her enemies are all on board. Her plan, ruthless, methodical, and long in the making. The train itself becomes character. Elegant, claustrophobic, and increasingly sinister. Sager uses the confined setting to ratchet up tension, drawing from classic closed-circle mysteries while injecting modern psychological edge. Each passenger harbors secrets, and Anna must navigate a labyrinth of lies, conflicting agendas, and shifting alliances. The story unfolds over 3 days with chapters structured around mealtime stops and confrontations, punctuated by flashbacks that gradually reveal the depth of Anna's trauma and the motives behind her vengeance. What sets With Vengeance apart is its nuanced exploration of revenge. Anna isn't traditional thriller heroine. She is calculating, sometimes cold, and haunted by the knowledge that her need for retribution might cost her the last pieces of her soul. Readers expecting purely righteous avenger might be surprised to find protagonist who is morally murky, full of self-doubt, and at times self-destructive. Yet Sager skillfully makes her sympathetic, largely through internal monologue and sharp, emotionally grounded prose. Moments of vulnerability, when she grapples with guilt, fear, or unexpected compassion. Add depth and poignancy. Sager's talent for plot twists is on full display here. Just when you think you know where the story is headed, the rug is pulled from under you. The narrative pivots in startling ways, and Sager plays fair, planting clues in plain sight while keeping the reader in suspense. The final twist, revealed in the last 50 pages, is both devastating and cathartic, forcing re-examination of everything that came before. Supporting characters are drawn with precision. There's the seemingly affable war veteran turned industrialist, the glamorous singer with shady past, the charming but dangerous playboy, mysterious porter who seems to know more than he lets on. While some characters serve traditional archetypal roles, Sager imbues them with enough emotional texture and psychological complexity to avoid cliches. Themes of justice, memory, and female agency run through the novel like steel tracks. Anna's quest raises uncomfortable questions. Is revenge ever just? What is lost in the pursuit of vengeance? Can healing exist without accountability? Sager doesn't offer easy answers, but he does allow Anna the dignity of choice, even if it comes at steep cost. The prose is taut and cinematic. Descriptions of the train, the lacquered wood panels, velvet seats, and rhythmic clatter of wheels immerse the reader in bygone era. The atmosphere is rich with mid-century glamour and paranoia, evoking noir aesthetic without veering into pastiche. Sager also masterfully paces the novel, alternating between slow-building dread and bursts of shocking violence or revelation. With Vengeance is more than just clever thriller. Psychological study of woman on the edge, an exploration of historical injustice, and gripping puzzle box of secrets. Sager stretches his storytelling muscles here, delivering historical revenge tale that feels urgent and modern. While longtime fans will recognize his trademark misdirection and emotional stakes, this novel also signals bold evolution in his work. For readers who enjoy twisty, character-driven thrillers with rich historical background, With Vengeance is must-read. It is both homage to classic crime fiction and fiercely original narrative in its own right. Verdict: 5-5. Riley Sager's most ambitious and emotionally resonant thriller to date. Dark, dazzling ride of revenge and redemption.